Many companies are struggling today because of a strong USD, especially businesses that involve imports. Speaking of imports, the first thing that comes to mind is usually things we buy on Lazada and Shopee. But to dig a bit deeper, did you know that a strong dollar can affect companies like Astro? Hi, I'm Frankie. Welcome back to my vlog show, Frankie Answers Questions. Most people subscribe to Astro today are to watch overseas content. That means Astro needs to buy those content in US dollar to broadcast them to its Malaysian customers. And now, with US dollar strengthening about 20% in a span of less than 2 years, Astro needs to fork out more ringgit to convert to US dollar to pay for our favorite shows. The question is, since the subscription fees didn't really go up to compensate for that cost increase, can Astro sustain its profits? Question 1. Tell me something about Astro that I don't know. Let me tell you something that we do know first. We all know that Astro is a satellite TV company that broadcasts local TV shows, international variety content, and our all-time favorite sport channels. But what you may not know is that apart from local TV shows, all other Astro's content costs were denominated in US dollar, around 66% to be exact. And sometimes this number could lead to as high as 70% if there's major events like the Olympic Games and whatnot. The other thing that you may not know about Astro is that despite strengthening dollars, their content costs actually didn't escalate much. Surprising, right?
Yes.
This is because Astro was able to negotiate lower fees for broadcasting rights of international content from the digital insurrection. And the best part, when Astro signs agreement with those international content providers, Astro made some of them bear Forex losses if the ringgit drops to a certain level. Question 2. How much does Astro pay for all the TV content that we watch? Well, year in, year out, Astro spends roughly 35 to 37% of every ringgit they collect from TV revenue to buy overseas content. Given that the US dollar is so strong currently, maybe that ratio has bumped up to around 38%?
Maybe.
The point is, I don't think Astro needs to fork out more than 40% given the reason we mentioned earlier. Having said that, TV content cost is just part of the overall cost structure for Astro. Because Astro also operates radio stations and home shopping, we need to take their cost into account as well in order to analyze the group more accurately. Question 3. Why are Astro investors so worried about a strengthening dollar? Astro has 1.9 billion ringgit worth of debts denominated in US dollar as part of its total 3.6 billion borrowing sitting in its book. That number was recorded as at 31st of July 2022, in which a dollar was worth roughly 450 ringgit at the time. A strengthening of US dollar means that this US dollar denominated debt will balloon up even more, and Astro needs to repay that amount with even more ringgit. In just 3 months, the dollar has strengthened from 450 to 470. That definitely has an impact on Astro's USD denominated debt. On top of that, Astro has other financial obligations such as payables and financial liabilities that are denominated in US dollar as well. At times when Astro is suffering from decreasing revenue, it's no surprise that investors are worried, and that's why share price plummeted since the announcement of the latest quarterly result.
Aw, man.
Question 4. Why is Astro's revenue dropping? Who still watches Astro today? Even if someone's house is connected to Astro, many of them are keeping their subscription for the convenience of the elderly at home who are not tech savvy to stream online content. In the past 12 months, Astro lost 100,000 subscribers from over 5.6 million customer base in the first half of 2022. With each user paying around 97 ringgit for their Astro subscription, that alone is a 9.7 million ringgit revenue loss to the group. Looking at the trend whereby most viewers these days prefer to consume content from other online and over-the-top platforms, many advertisers also started to shift their advertising budget away from Astro, causing a double whammy damage on the group.
Punch! Ultimate punch!
Actually, these two are persisting problems for Astro, and the group has been finding ways to stop the bleeding by introducing home shopping on TV. That segment did very well during the COVID-19 lockdown. But as we start going out again, consumers prefer to engage in physical shopping, and it drags the home shopping business down to only 47 million ringgit from a high of over 105 million a year ago. Question 5. What could Astro do to mitigate Forex risk? We all know that the bulk of the dollar exposure comes from borrowings. These borrowings are for the new transponder leases to broadcast content to the users. So, it is unfair to say Astro should stop borrowing because that means Astro wouldn't have enough funding to lease transponders and therefore they won't be able to broadcast content to us, which ends up affecting the business as a whole. Instead, what they could do is perhaps to convert the 1.9 billion ringgit worth of USD denominated loans into a ringgit loan. That way, Astro locks in the forex rate and service those loans with utmost certainty that the loan amount will be no higher than 1.9 billion ringgit. However, there's a risk. Question 6. What is the risk of converting US dollar denominated loans to ringgit loans? The risk lies with the central bankers in the US. You see, the Fed has already increased the interest rate 5 times, from nearly 0% all the way up to 3% today. While interest rates may continue to go up, experts are starting to criticize that decision, saying that the Fed has tightened monetary policy too much and it is bad for the US economy. Whatever it is, the Fed cannot increase the interest rate forever. If the Fed suddenly decided to stop increasing interest rate as previous measures are taking effect, we may start seeing the dollar fall. By that time, a weak ringgit is actually good for Astro because it needs less ringgit to service US dollar denominated loans. If that scenario play out and Astro has already converted its dollar denominated loans to ringgit loan, yes, on one hand, the group has a very clear certainty of how much it has to repay without a worry of fluctuating currency. But on the other hand, that also means Astro just locked themselves up with a huge amount of debt at the weakest point of the ringgit.
God damn it, God damn it!
It's going to be the New Year soon. I know many of you will be thinking about New Year's resolutions, setting new financial goals and stuff like that. And we know it's not easy to plan or achieve it. From November to December, we will be organizing a financial literacy month. There will be free weekly workshops and activities to help you figure out your financial goals, plans, and turn it into actions for 2023. On top of that, when you attend our workshops, you will stand a chance to win some awesome Apple products too. So sign up and reserve a spot for yourself via the link below. Now, back to our topic. Question 7. Should I invest in Astro? Astro is a great dividend stock. Regardless of the financial performance, the group is committed to pay out 75% of its net profit as dividends to reward shareholders. To give you a perspective, in the past 2 financial years, Astro have been paying out between 77 and 76% of its net profit as dividends, amounting to 8 cents per share and 6.75 cents per share respectively. If Astro is able to maintain that kind of dividend payout, it is going to be translated into a very high yielding dividend stock at the current price level. Now, the key is if. That's all we have for today. #fun.